Hello, this is Tyler with Keystone Farm. Talk a little bit about why we have goats today. As you can see, this paddock, there's some grass in there, but there's a lot of other forbs that sheep or cows may not eat as readily as goats. Right now you see this one eating mainly grass. This one seems to prefer grass. But as they've been grazing these paddocks, I noticed they've been eating more and more forbs. I've even seen them eat some of this burdock, which they didn't at the beginning. They were just eating grass. The grass probably has just higher sugar and whatnot. Like this here is, I can't remember what it is right now, but sheep will only eat that plant when it's fully mature, so probably in a month they'll eat it. But as you can see, the goats have been eating it when it's less mature. This lamb here, this kid here, his mom rejected it. His mom's right there. The other one died. It was all wrapped up in the cord, so I don't know if that was the issue or what. But this one here is the sister to that one that rejected it, and it seems to have adopted it. It hasn't nursed on its own, but we've been bottle feeding it. Anytime any other goat goes near it, or the guardian dog over here, it doesn't like it. It'll rush at them and try to buck them out of the way. So we took the dog out for a couple weeks. We just had the dog in the paddock right behind, so it still was able to guard the goats even though it wasn't with them. But I didn't know if the goats were nervous of the dog or what. We didn't have the best. See, it's not letting the dog get close. We didn't have the best luck this year with kidding. It's our second year. We had better luck last year. I don't know if toward the end, if it was just feeding alfalfa bales and there was no grass in them. Maybe there was something wrong with their ratio or their rumen, and it was a hard stop from hay to forage. So next year I'll probably do a few things different. I'll still feed them hay. I probably won't give them straight alfalfa. I'll try to get grass alfalfa or grass bales also. So yeah, it's always learning with animals. It's pretty discouraging, but sometimes you wonder, just get rid of all the animals. They're going to spend all this money on hay, and then the kids are just going to die anyways. But you live and you learn, and so look at it as a learning opportunity. This was another learning opportunity here with these. I guess that brown one, and specifically, you see has a decent sized udder. But it was kind of wild. We never bottle fed it or fed it any grain, so had a hard time catching it and milking it. So we just decided just not try this year, and either we'll sell those two, or during the winter try to catch them and put them in a stanchion every day to make them tame. So yeah, this was, I guess, the location of my first video. There was a bale over there we fed. We're slowly transitioning everything to more grass. I don't mind some forbs too, but I think eventually we'll probably get rid of the milk goats and just get milk cows. We'll see. Cows seem more economical. Goats are really, I think, more expensive to feed through the winter. Actually, this winter, I think I'm gonna try to do tree hay. We'll see how much work that is, but if we chop down a lot of these sprouts that are coming up, bundle them up and dry them out, and store them in our where we store hay, that'll greatly reduce the hay. I'm gonna get distracted by this goat. It's just, luckily that guardian dog is pretty mellow, doesn't ever fight back or nothing. So, but hopefully that'll greatly reduce the hay bill. This past year it was, I guess I didn't keep track, but I don't know, at least more than $2,000 for 6-7 goats. So we drink, I guess it'll probably be more than a gallon when they're really cranking, gallon of goat milk a day. So I haven't done the numbers, but we'll sell a little bit maybe this summer. But it's not, with the cow, I think cows eat a lot more of the hay than the goats do. And then you just get more milk. More milk with the cow is, compared to how much they cost to keep and raise. Goats reproduce faster and have more kids too. But then cows are easier to keep in, and so we'll see. I'm sure we'll keep at least a few. We'll probably have cows and goats together for a while. And eventually see if my son wants to take over the goat enterprise. There'll always be sprouts and forbs to eat as long as we have woods. I don't want to always come through here and brush hog and cut trees down. So this is our water system. Well, I guess I haven't turned it on, but once I turn it on, this will fill up with water, and then as the water fills, it's kind of like a toilet. The water pushes this thing right here up, and it shuts off that valve. Oh, this is another thing I wanted to talk about. So I made a pretty big paddock here, but they see that bare spot right there, and then you see all these bugs in my camera. So there's less bugs where there's a bare spot, then they end up hanging out in that one spot most of the time, so much so that they almost starve themselves, and they finally get hungry enough they go out and forage, but they only forage close to the bare spot, and as soon as they get enough to eat, they go back there because they're, I don't know, I think they're adapting to the bugs and getting used to them, and kind of like us at the beginning, bugs just annoy us so much, and then we just get used to it. But anyways, I put this cross fence in today so they couldn't have access to that area anymore. It's impacted enough, and so they can impact a different area and graze the whole paddock. Otherwise they'd end up overgrazing one area and hardly grazing this area. It'll only be for a month or two at max. Once it dries out and there's less rain, there'll be less bugs, and they'll graze a lot more evenly. But they seem to always graze, as I've said before, the higher elevation in a paddock first, because they feel the most safe. Just get a shot of the lake here. 2 years ago we cut a bunch of trees down and stacked wood and It's just been sitting here for years. I guess it's still be fine to come collect. This nice oak tree. And we got a bunch of birch trees back there. And there's the lake. It's kind of hard to see through the trees, but be a really nice spot for a house or little summer cabin or something in this opening. If you clear some trees, you got a view of the lake and there's big oak trees and birch trees. Nice quiet spot. All right, that's it for now.